Welterweight bout here, Kevin Holland coming in at -150 against Michael Chiesa coming in at +120. Over under 2.5 rounds. +130 for the over, -160 for the under. Kevin Holland 3-2 in his last 5. So is Michael Chiesa, but he's on a 2-fight losing streak. 35 years of age for him. Kevin Holland always going to have a pretty sizable reach advantage against these welterweights. 81 inches for him, 75.5 for Michael Chiesa. Kevin Holland, obviously the ex-middleweight fighter, and Michael Chiesa, the ex-lightweight fighter. So will he have a pretty big, sizable size advantage? Absolutely. But Kevin Holland even said in his last fight, like the hand that he broke against Stephen Thompson wasn't 100%. Either way, he got the win, round 3 knockout with the left hook, but didn't use his right hand that much in that fight. So kind of got to wonder where that's at now, because he will go into a fight if it's not 100%. So where is it at now? Where's everything at physically going into this one? Chiesa been off for a while, almost 2 years. Last fight was November of 2021. That was against Sean Brady. He lost. And the one before that, he got submitted by Vicente Luque. So he hasn't had a win in over 2 years. That was his last one was Neil Magny. We all know the deal with Chiesa. He's going to want to implement the wrestling. Hasn't been able to do that successfully against his last 2 opponents, but that is Kevin Holland's kryptonite. So can he have success with that? What do you think?
Yeah, that's what it all boils down to. Because if he does, his jiu-jitsu is good enough to where I think he will dominate Kevin Holland on the ground. But, Holland, if he's been smart, I mean, I know his last few fights, he's kind of fighting, strikers. But if he's been smart, he's been working on the wrestling. And if he's trying to get to be a better fighter, he's been working on the wrestling. So, for the defense at least. And if he has been and is able to stuff Chiesa's shots, I think he just destroys him on the feet, if I'm being honest. He's so long. His punches have this snap on it that just seems to hurt guys when he connects flush. And if he does that against Chiesa, I think he gets the knockout. But if Chiesa comes in and has been working hard in these last 2 years he's been off and can get the takedowns again, man, I think he has a chance to sub Holland, because we've seen it time and time again. Holland gets himself into some bad situations. But for Kevin Holland, you win knockout over Ponzinibbio. Like we talked about the Wonderboy fight. And before that, you lose to Khamzat Chimaev in the first round, but Khamzat and Michael Chiesa are completely different realms. So it does get interesting. I think Kevin Holland wins this fight. I don't see Chiesa. I don't want to say I don't see him improving in the last 2 years, but I feel like he's doing so much more outside the octagon now, working for the UFC. Like, how much is he still dedicated to, making a run in this division at 170 or, becoming a much better fighter? Like, he's probably getting paid pretty decent outside the octagon now. I don't know if that hunger's still there compared to Kevin Holland, who fights for money. This dude is hungry. He wants big fights. He wants to win. He wants bonuses. So yeah, I got to rock with the Trailblazer on this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same way. It's like, where is Chiesa at in his career? As far as like, where does he go from here? 35 years old, working with the UFC, working with ESPN, doing a lot with that. I've been seeing him a lot with everything, like post-show, pre-show, was it weigh-in shows, all those type of shows. So it's clear, probably never going to make a title run again, but just taking fights because he enjoys it. He likes training, likes preparing for stuff. For Kevin Holland, I think he's just talented, much more talented on the feet. But even on the ground, like the BJJ is pretty solid. And I was honestly surprised how long he lasted with Khamzat. Like,
yeah,
those transitions, Khamzat was making Khamzat go through, and Khamzat just was like a step ahead of him every time. But Holland was still forcing some stuff. I think coming into this one, I think he should be able to negate the grappling of Chiesa and piece him up on the feet. If he's smart enough, like, he should be able to get the win here. That's just what it comes down to. Like, just much more talented at this point in his career. Chiesa, he's only been knocked out once though, and it was by a cut. It was back in 2014 against Joe Lozon. So, can Kevin Holland get the knockout is the question. Chiesa's been submitted 4 times. Maybe a Holland submission prop.
I was just gonna say
a little cheeky because he's got good submission.
Yeah, he's long.
If Chiesa shoots a takedown and it's not, the cleanest, Kevin Holland could snatch something up, or maybe a club and sub type thing, because Chiesa's pretty tough, but has been submitted 4 times. So
Yeah.
yeah, keep that one in mind. But we're both on Kevin Holland.